Hello and welcome to the Hayden Show, where we sit down, talk about whatever the fuck Tom makes me watch. And today we watch Alex and James go at each other quite vigorously. Actually, it was a bit off-putting. I don't know why. I don't know why Tom made me watch that.
I thought it was weird.
Yeah.
I put it on. I thought it was weird. I wanted your opinion on it. It was just a bit weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I still haven't quite got why Alex is painted yellow.
Oh wait,
That I haven't quite.
you know what?
Um,
We didn't watch that. We actually watched
oh,
it was Family Guy or the Simpsons Guy. The
oh
crossover. Family
yeah.
Guy Simpsons. I knew we got mixed up somewhere.
That wasn't Alex. That was Homer.
That wake off. You know,
Yeah.
it gets you confused sometimes.
That's honestly, I blame Duff slash
I took it past.
took that whether
or
it's fucking called
slash. What was
Duff
it?
in disguise.
The Rock one. What was it?
Bud Rock.
Yeah, Bud Rock. That was it. The fucking Flintstones one. That would be funny instead of for Flintstone. It would be funny if it was Stan. For no other reason. But then again, we got Roger cameo, so it's fine.
But yeah, so it was it's good as like one of those good crossovers that's got quite a lot of good points and highlights to it, and just one for me personally, one long bad bit. But that's just me. But we'll go into it. Start off. It's quite a unique setting. Basically, Peter does a Peter and accidentally makes a really sexist comic, and they get kicked out of Quahog for a bit. So now they go traveling. He falls asleep on the road. And they end up they have no idea where the fuck they are, and suddenly randomly their car gets stolen for no other reason, and it's like, what the fuck? Where the fuck are we? We've got to stay here for a bit, and it shows it's in Springfield. One of them, we don't know which one.
I can't imagine lads. So.
I'm not allowed to say. But yeah, that's a nice little setup. I mean, the fact that it's Peter's the reason why they've got to go in the first place. And obviously, nice little when they're walking through Springfield and seeing all the characters, and obviously you can tell this is when the level of meta just skyrockets. We started off with the first meta joke was when they was watching at the very, very start of the show.
Yeah, all in the family. They
were watching basically a crossover, and then obviously talking about how crossovers totally don't massive cash grabs and cheapen the story, and then
basically when it shows run out of its ideas.
That's like the only first meta joke it starts off with, but when they get into Springfield, they just keep on coming. Like joking about how it looks like everyone's got a hepatitis and stuff. Oh, it's pretty fun. Even the way they meet Homer, going into the Quick and Mart, going I like how they take the piss out of crossover as well. Like when they walk in and it's like the applause goes on. It's like, the applause machines. Don't mind me. That was quite fun. After when they go through all the donuts, and it's like, oh, we've got no money, and Homer's like, I'll pay for you, and some random person comes out of the shadow. It's not Homer, but it looks exactly like him with a mustache. It sounds exactly like him as well. And then obviously he comes from the other side in another dark corner, and it's quite funny. I like to think the reason why there's so many dark corners is because the period doesn't want to
pay for
spend money.
Yeah, more likely it is that
he's saving money.
May you rest in peace.
There's some good little intro to it. They set up how they work, and obviously a big thing of this crossover is basically comparing the two shows. That's a big thing that's happened with Family Guy and Simpsons. They're constantly being compared with each other. So this crossover does like the comparing, but shows you how the comparisons, like how the Family Guy is a lot more extreme versions of these. Like each character has their own little like duplicate. Obviously, got Homer, Peter, Marge, and Lois. Like they're all very similar characters, but like whereas Homer is dumb, Peter is both dumb and completely oblivious to everything sexist or offensive. Obviously, my favourite comparisons is like how they go to the extreme between Bart and Stewie. Because obviously, they're both the bad kid kind of character. But the fact that they go to the extreme of like, oh yeah, Bart super glued someone's butt cheeks, and he calls Frank calls his weapon like cupboard is basically a slingshot. And then you got Stewie, who when like goes to the extreme and kidnaps all of Bart's enemies. He tries to basically copy Bart by like dressing up like him, doing all of his things, basically trying to become him, using his catchphrases and the fact that he kidnaps a pig goes. I just wanted to say I took a poop. I'm giggling at it. It's like when he does a prank call. He got Bart's like, oh, a leaky bum. He's like, you're supposed to getting raped. It's like I love how they go to the extremes of each character. Lisa and Meg is funny as well because they're both the daughter character who gets bullied a lot. Whereas Lisa, she's still really smart and good at quite a lot of stuff. And then you've got Meg, who they show is completely useless except for one thing. She's good at saxophone as well. And the fact that Lisa, even though you can tell she's jealous, she like at the end she gives like Meg her saxophone. It shows how great of a character Lisa is. That she wants everyone to be happy. But Meg, because she's so like bullied by every single character that exists, the fact that she can't have any happiness, Meg can't, because when you've got Peter, you can't have anything nice. It's the fact that like Lisa has some like insecurities, whereas Meg literally, like as she said, she cuts Lisa's name into her arm. Like when to calm down, she tortures cats. It's like they go to the proper extreme with her insecurities and the fact that she can't ever be happy. And like it's just it makes it kind of funny. I mean, like it also gives them something to do because they're all tend to be the characters that like Lisa usually has her own like plot, which isn't always that interesting. And then you got Meg, who's just there for the comic relief. Really, she's there for someone to bully. That's her whole character. Whereas Lisa obviously has some kind of character. She has her own like goals and arcs and stuff. Whereas the only interesting thing that ever happened to Meg was when she got sent to prison and came back like as an offensive, aggressive person. But one thing that obviously throughout this entire crossover is the only one who really didn't get much of a duplicate character except for the random teenage guy who always works at fast food restaurants is Chris, because he had really nothing to do, so this gave him with Brian, so Brian can like at least have someone to talk to, because obviously Brian's comparison is Santa's little helper, but Santa's little helper can't talk because it's just a normal dog, whereas Brian is this like unique talking dog. So you've got to have Brian someone to talk to. So with Chris having no comparison, just let them dash out and have their own little story arc. But I think they do quite clever of like basically showing how Family Guy know they're not going to be as the top level as Family Guy, as Simpsons. I mean, they know they aren't going to be as popular as Simpsons. So they double on with the like self-deprecating jokes, like when you know the final big fight, which I'll get onto later. Obviously, like Homer throws all of his awards at Peter, and Peter's like, "Hey, that's not fair. We haven't got any of those." So obviously, because Family Guy know, yeah, like even though like they're the extreme comparisons to the character, the actual show itself, they aren't going to get the level of awards that the Simpsons did because they've been going on for such a long time. As Bart says, 23 years?
I think at the point
24
of
years?
this episode, he says something like 24 years or something like that.
Yeah, 20 something years.
But it's more than
That's
that
how
now.
long. Yeah, that's how long Nelson is bullying Bart for. Another good little meta joke. Yeah, I think it does good with the sprinkling the metas and the self-deprecating, and to basically challenge the comparisons that are constantly made. I mean, that one scene when they were getting sued, and literally sit all of the characters that are comparisons of each other, including Cleveland and what's the other one?
Um,
Can't remember his name.
Carl.
Carl. That's it. So I don't
Lenny's
remember those.
the one with Quagmire.
Quagmire, but even that shows like even the ones that are comparisons, some of them aren't proper. Like how like Lenny, like Quagmire goes, "So you to sex and what?" Like, what?
Yeah, the Carl and Cleveland is more of a race-based joke.
Yeah, that's one because they're the only black characters. So it's like that's why we got us act together. But it's like, no, we're the coolest guys here. And then even like Stewie, Mr. Burns as well.
Yeah. I think the best is James Woods with James Woods.
Oh yeah, that one was a good one because I think they've both been in the.
They're both the same character.
Show. So they're both. That is a good comparison. That's more of like a meta joke.
And so it's quite interesting to see like the animation style, those two different versions.
Yeah,
that's the best way to actually compare the two shows of the same character in both shows, how their animation differs.
Yeah, because the Family Guy, it's a lot more like, should we say, chubby in the face.
Yeah,
their heads are a lot more rounder and say kind of normal. And then you've got the Simpsons one, which is more, more yellow, obviously, but also more caricature.
Yeah,
caricature. It's a lot more different.
Yeah, there's a lot more detail to the face.
Yeah. Whereas the Family Guy one looks more normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a bit more wrinkles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see the comparisons. Like, because like I say, people constantly make them. And the fact they're acknowledging these comparisons adds to the level of humour. It's the perfect meta. You gotta love meta jokes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we fucking. How addicted to Deadpool are we? Oh, I can tell this is one of our, like, classic good comedy. But I will say also, it doesn't escape some of the criticism as well, though, because one of the things that I don't like about Family Guy is the unnecessary long fights. And my God, this one just drags and drags and drags. The end fight of the part 2, it goes on for so long. And the climax of the fight is them both all blooded, bruised, and making a joke of their intros. That was the final, like, that's what the conclusion of that fight was. That pun. Although it does have some good, like, background things happening. Like how the origin for the Ralph meme of I'm in danger. That comes from that scene. That's good.
Obviously, the Emmy jokes in there, the awards when he's thrown them.
Yeah, the Emmy
Roger's
jokes.
in space. He went to space camp with the aliens.
Bye, thanks for having me.
Kodos, is it? Something like
that? Yeah, and then there was what was the
cliff jump as well.
and the druggy bush driver.
Oh, fucking Otto when he runs over the twins.
Yeah. He opens the door like, hey. So there were some good ones when it happened, like little background things happening. but the actual fight is just
So long.
basically really long and bloody, and then they get superpowers, which is just okay, weird.
Probably the most over the top it's been.
Mm,
I don't remember the fucking chicken ever getting
yeah,
superpowers.
and I definitely agree with the nerd guy at the end. Worst chicken fight ever.
What about pour some sugar on me?
But that though is one of the fun. That is definitely one of the funniest scenes. Not because the actual like. I do like when they try to make it look sexy and sexual, but then the actual content of them, the flabs coming out and the really tight contracts with the massive thighs and. But I do like how they film it as if it's like a sexy music video, and then but it all connects to the best moment in this entire thing. Is obviously Chief Wiggum just leaning back again after the show, Lou. After the show,
because it's like, we could like arrest every criminal in Springfield because it's every criminal. It's
stolen car wash.
It shows like obviously Jimbo, Fat Tony, the guy with one arm. There's a few other like random like cameos.
I swear there's sailors there as well.
Yeah, there's a few like random cameos, and you're like, wait, they're not criminals. But then it's like, yeah, sure, why not? And obviously, as you say, it's like Chief Wiggum just like, yeah, no, I'm gonna watch this show before we arrest everyone because it is a funny show.
Like he's probably my favourite character in Simpsons.
Him or Ralph are probably the two top ones. Yeah,
Ralph is how dumb he is, and obviously Chief Wiggum because he got the same level of dumb this race, so you can see where he gets it.
But he's grown up.
Yeah, I suppose that's grown up. Because obviously in the Simpsons movie, the mafia guys, they're chucking
Fat Tony.
they're about to chuck in the grass, someone's dead body, and he goes, I'll put my yard trimming somewhere else. So I think it's a dead body. I thought that too, Lou. Until you said yard trimmings. Gotta learn to listen, Lou. He's always had those little moments that peak comedy.
Yeah.
And here was another one. So yeah, I'd like the pour sugar on me scene.
It's just so over the top.
Yeah.
I just love the go with one arm when he gets out of the car and runs away, just runs straight to is it Homer's ass?
Yeah. This is basically
Peter's ass, sorry. Homer's on the car and he runs out of the car to get away from Homer and runs straight to Peter's ass.
I think this episode is basically, if you wanted to see Simpsons being the most like rude and grotesque that they could ever be, this is how you'd see it.
So I think it works a bit better than the Futurama one, just because the length, because it was able to do like a big story for the fact that its first half focused heavily on like the stolen car and the comic storyline, and the friendship growing, whereas the second one focused on obviously their friendship dying and obviously the lawsuit of Duff Brewery going against Pawtucket, since obviously Pawtucket's just Duff. So obviously it's a lot different to obviously the Futurama, which was just a single shot episode of like this little story, obviously, but this is like a bigger story. Even obviously Peter jokes about it. He's like, when he's like Lois is saying something about everyone's like lively has rides on this. He goes, I've got something for you to ride on later. She's like, what? And he's like, sorry, we only ever do these for like half an hour. I'm really tired. Even he comments on the length, but it works. So obviously they did it in two parts, but obviously if you get the DVD, it's just one big episode with a few more gags here and there, but obviously the Disney Plus version is literally just the two-parter that aired on TV. So obviously there is a few jokes that are missing from this version that are in the longer version. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's a couple. But I do very much like the cameos for it. There's like, even like the non-Simpsons ones, you got Cleveland Show cameo, you got Bob's Burgers, obviously American Dad, Flintstones. I like those little jokes of shows that are basically the same concept of Family Guy and The Simpsons, but different animation style and different like storyline. I do like that.
I do like as well how like when Peter first tried to teach Homer about cutaway gags.
Yeah,
it's like Homer and Peter would be a great team, like what? Like trying to like edgy Monty.
Yeah.
Like, I'll show you to do it. And the actual cut scenes, the cutaway guy quite funny because obviously it's basically an entire
Air
joke
Force.
about the fact that these two can go on their own. These two teams can be on their own, but Bob and Cleveland cannot, as a shows, can't really be on their.
Yeah, Bob has to work with obviously them two for the fact that they let the other guy have a go by himself, and then look what happened. It's Cleveland crashing.
No.
I'm pretty certain this. I think this may have been the series. It was the series after where Cleveland went back into Family Guy because this is about the time that his show is getting cancelled, which is probably why they took the piss out of that joke. So I think this was literally the point of cancellation for the Cleveland show.
I thought it was after.
I swear it was the end of this series. It was the end of this series, or it was the end of the next series he came back, like full time. But it's around this point when the show is basically pretty much getting chucked out.
I mean, yeah, he's like nice little jokes like that were good, definitely. It's entertaining to watch. It's just the sort of end fight scene that drags. But definitely worth watching if you ever want to sit down and think, oh, I want to watch a crossover, but I want to actually just sit down and laugh and not spend the whole time going, what the fuck are these shows? Yeah. What the fuck does Ben look like that? Sit down, you watch the Simpsons Guy, much better than anything. Basically, a lot better than the previous one we watched.
Oh, one before.
The one before.
Spider-Man
I can't remember.
Spider-Man was the last one we watched.
It
was the one before.
Redacted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good old times. But yeah, definitely watch it. It's good. So, now then.
Your verdict.
Ratings. Now, should I do complicated or what? Nah, I'm going to do it very, very simple. We get a 6 to 9 because, that's Family Guy.
Funny number, yeah.
And then funny numbers. And then we add 13 because Treehouse of our Horror. And 13 is a spooky number. Add them together.
82. Is
that what?
82.
That's what? 82. Okay. And then just for funds, we get 1 point because in the Simpsons movie, when Bart goes through, you see his pee-pee.
Oh, yeah.
That's one thing. So there you go.
83.
83. 83.
83 out of 100. 83 out of 10, sorry. Because we don't get it out of 100, it's weirdly out of 10. Let's have a look where that fits on this little ranking escapade. There's a button I need. There it is. 83 out of 10. Okay, it's above that one, yeah. It's above that one, yeah. Family Simpson. I could actually call it Simpsons Guy, but I just put Family Simpson, why not? Okay, so this one is very, very high in your rankings, Hayden. Family Simpson, I'm gonna call it. Slots in above Weird Al, taking in 3rd position.
Nice.
So it's very high.
I think it deserves it. Like, if you didn't have that long end fight at the end, it probably would have gone a bit more.
It's one of the most weird. It's the one of the most obviously needed crossovers because how long it's been referenced. But it's one of the weirdest crossovers for the fact that it's 2 different types of humor. It's the R-rated rude humor of Family Guy versus the more PG family orientated humor. Yeah. The occasional dirty joke of The Simpsons. It's 2 different vibes, but they work very well.
And reference perfectly at the very end that there would never be Simpsons going into the Family Guy. There's a Simpsons episode about going into Family the Quahog.
Yeah, and they even did the end intro of The Simpsons. With Peter going, and now the show is over now. Perfect.
Good. Good. So yeah, join us next time
Last
when
episode.
we
Last episode.
last
Oh, the
episode
first series. Last episode.
where we both beat up James on camera.
Yes.
And then we'll commune with his spirit.
A Ouija board.
How supernatural of us.
Oh, we're gonna have a scuba of a good time. That was a really bad reference there, but oh well, it worked.
Crossover joke.
Can you guess it? Find out next week if you got it right.
That's right. It's a Dora the Explorer and Deadpool crossover. It was a really weird episode.
Damn it, I got it wrong.
I loved it.
Fuck. If you like what you've seen, don't be afraid to throw us a little like and subscribe. That's always very appreciated over here. And, well, I'll see you on the next video.